video that you are about to view contains material created by the Writing and Reading Center at Fresno City College. We base the information used on fact and research to the best of our knowledge. As the viewer of this video, you should always follow the directions given to you by your instructor. The materials covered in these videos should be viewed as supplemental only.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Tutors.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Adrian.
Beginning to write an essay can be a tricky process.
Many students struggle with formulating ideas, developing their paragraphs, and staying on topic throughout their essay.
To help you stay on track, one of the most beneficial things you can do is make an outline for your essay.
An outline is essentially a guide to writing the content of your essay.
After you have formulated a thesis, you should begin writing an outline. An outline will organize your paragraphs and list the points you need to discuss in each paragraph.
Once your outline is all finished, all you have to do is follow the points listed and expand upon them. After this, you should have your essay.
Remember that an outline is not your essay. You don't need full paragraphs or even full sentences. You just need to list as much information as is necessary to help remind you of the purpose of your essay.
It is helpful to organize your outline like so.
As you can see, each major heading is labeled with a Roman numeral.
The first Roman numeral is always going to be your introductory paragraph. Be sure to label this one Intro.
Next, you need to add your subpoints.
Roman numerals are the toppest tier of points. The next tier should be capital letters.
In the case of your intro paragraph, your subpoint A should be your thesis. This way, you'll always be reminded of what point you're trying to prove.
For the purpose of this video, our thesis will be, Batman has remained popular for so long because he embraces and embodies the darkness we have inside of us all.
Now comes the most important part of your outline, the body.
The body paragraphs are important because they convey the main points of your essay, your views, your opinions, and present the evidence needed to back up your claims.
Let's move on to constructing the first body paragraph in your outline. Begin by writing a Roman numeral 2.
Like we established earlier, your outline isn't your essay, so it doesn't need to consist of full sentences. However, if it's helpful for you to write out your main points in sentence form, there's nothing wrong with that.
Continuing with the above thesis statement, let's label this Roman numeral, which is your first body paragraph. We all have repressed desires that we wish to act upon.
This label we've given our first body paragraph is our first main point. For the remainder of this paragraph, your goal is to prove that this point is true, which in turn will assert the notion that your thesis is true.
To show the reader that this point is valid in proving your thesis statement is true, you need to provide examples of events or situations that support your claims.
Like we did in the introductory paragraph, place an A below your Roman numeral.
Next to A, write down your first example. Let's look at the following example for this subpoint. It's common for people to fantasize about putting on a costume and committing vigilante acts.
After this subpoint, it might be beneficial to list some sort of statistical data that you can easily retrieve when it's time to write your actual paper.
To list this kind of information, you need to use the next tier level of subpoints. After you use capital letters, you should use normal numbers. Below subpoint A, make a subpoint 1.
So after our everyone wants to be a superhero subpoint, we can put a statistic from a well-respected source to help validate our claim. According to the National Psychological Research Association, everyone and their mother has fantasized about being a superhero before.
In your actual paper, you should explain in detail the findings of the study, but simply noting to yourself what the statistic is will be enough information for your outline.
Once you have all your third tier subpoints necessary for your second tier subpoints, you can now add on any additional second tier subpoints.
Be sure that any additional subpoints you list still relate to your topic.
For example, subpoint B could be, as a young man, Bruce Wayne fantasized about bringing criminals to justice, and he started to act out these fantasies.
You can use the third tier subpoints to illustrate the relations between your second tier subpoints. Once you've done listing any and all second tier subpoints for your currently listed new Roman numeral, you're ready to move on to the next main point.
Our next main point will have a Roman numeral 3, and we will label it, by embracing the darkness and using it for good, Batman shows that people don't need to be ashamed of acting out their repressed desires.
For this new main point, list as many second and third tier subpoints as necessary to fully explain your point.
Continue listing as many first tier subpoints as necessary. Our recommended number is 3, but that doesn't mean you couldn't add a few more points.
Once you've reached your last Roman numeral, label it conclusion.
Label your subpoint A restatement of thesis.
For the purpose of the outline, you don't need to write anything more than this. However, when you actually write your essay, you will want to restate your thesis.
For subpoint B, write main points of essay.
After subpoint B, use as many third-tier subpoints as needed to briefly write down your main points from your essay.
Finally, label your last subpoint, subpoint C, concluding statements.
It is in this section you'll leave any concluding thoughts for your readers.
Your concluding thoughts could consist of what you learned regarding your topic or any predictions you have in the future in regards to your topic.
By creating outlines before you actually begin writing your essays, you're more likely to stay on topic.
The more you have listed in the outline, the quicker and easier it will be to write your paper.
We hope that you have a better understanding of outlines, their benefits, and how to make one yourself.
If you seek further support, check out the videos that we have posted below.
And if you're itching to test your skills, check out the links to our assessment based on this video, also listed below.
If you need help with additional terminology regarding English, reading, or writing, check out our other videos.
Don't forget that you can also come by the FCC Writing and Reading Center. Our hours and location are listed also below.
Good luck with your assignment. Bye.
Bye.